There are moments in life when you have to walk alone, not because you want to, but because no one else can see what you see, no one else can feel what you feel. And in those moments, you are tested, not in crowds, not in applause, but in silence. Leadership begins there, in that silence. When the world doubts you, when even those close to you raise eyebrows, when friends retreat and the path forward becomes nothing but fog, you either stand or you crumble. Let me tell you something very clearly. If you wait for people to join you before you take a stand, you will never move. Because people follow only after they see results. But leadership is not about waiting for results, it's about creating them. That takes courage, that takes patience, and that takes a kind of loneliness most people are not prepared for. I've faced moments in life where the easier choice would have been to step back, to let things be, to stay quiet, to blend in. I could have chosen the comfort of silence over the discomfort of standing alone. But leadership isn't born from comfort, it's born from discomfort. From standing your ground when the ground beneath you is shaking. From holding your position when everything inside you is telling you to walk away. The truth is, those moments of isolation, they are the fire that forges you. There will be days when you feel misunderstood, even by those you love. There will be nights when you wonder if the fight is worth it. The sacrifices, the criticism, the betrayal, it will all weigh on you. And that's when you must decide, are you in this for approval or for purpose? Because the two rarely go hand in hand. I've come to understand that people often resist what they don't yet understand. They label you arrogant when you're confident. They call you stubborn when you're consistent. They think you're lost when you're simply walking a path they've never dared to explore. But if your heart is clear and your intentions are rooted in truth, then being alone is not a weakness, it's a responsibility. Someone has to take that first step. Someone has to break the silence. Someone has to risk being called a fool before they're ever called a leader. So don't fear walking alone. Fear not living up to what you were meant to become. Because in the end, it's not about who claps for you, who supports you, or who stands beside you. It's about whether you had the courage to stand at all. And when you do, when you take that lonely first step, something begins to shift. Not immediately, but gradually, people begin to notice. Hearts begin to change. The ones who doubted you start to reflect. The ones who left may return. And even if they don't, you'll have built something no one can take from you. Self-respect. Never underestimate the power of one person who refuses to give up. That spark, small as it may be, has the power to ignite a wildfire. But someone has to be willing to strike the match, even if they're standing alone. Lead alone if you must. Leadership is not a popularity contest. It's not about being liked, praised, or cheered on. If you tie your vision to public approval, you will find yourself changing direction every time the wind shifts. And a leader who chases approval isn't leading. He's following the crowd in disguise. That's not leadership. That's fear pretending to be strategy. When you truly believe in something, when your vision is clear, you don't bend it to please others. You don't dilute it to avoid criticism. You hold it firm. Because the truth is, the greater your vision, the more resistance you'll face. People are more comfortable with mediocrity than with change. They prefer the familiar, even if it's broken, because the unfamiliar threatens their comfort. And when you show up with an idea that challenges the status quo, don't expect applause. Expect silence. Expect pushback. Expect labels. But do it anyway. There was a time when I had to make a choice: follow the crowd and play it safe, or stay true to the vision and walk through fire. And fire it was. Accusations, betrayal, mockery, even from those I thought were on my side. But what kept me going was the clarity of purpose. I wasn't doing this for applause. I wasn't trying to win favor. I knew why I had started, and I refused to forget it just because the road got hard. The moment you start making decisions based on how many people will clap or agree, you lose your edge, you lose your authenticity, you become a mirror, just reflecting what others want to see. But a real leader is a window. He lets people see what's possible beyond the current reality. And not everyone wants to look that far. Not everyone is ready for that kind of clarity. Some will call you rigid, others will say you're out of touch. But that's only because you're ahead of them, not behind. Sometimes you'll make decisions that cost you support. Sometimes you'll speak truths that people aren't ready to hear. And yes, it may isolate you. But remember, vision has a price. And that price is often misunderstanding. But if you stay committed, if you stay consistent, what once felt like loss will become legacy. I have no interest in being celebrated for the wrong reasons. I'd rather be criticized for standing on principle than be praised for saying what's convenient. Because at the end of the day, the crowds disappear, the noise fades, and what's left is the impact of your choices. The kind of leader you were when no one was watching. The kind of stand you took when it wasn't popular. So don't compromise your vision just to be liked. Don't water it down so it's easier to swallow. If it's real, if it's right, then let it challenge, let it provoke, let it disrupt, and let it lead. Lead alone if you must. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning. But most people don't see it that way. They fear failure like it's a permanent stain, like it defines them. It doesn't. What defines you is how you respond to it, whether you let it bury you or you use it to rise. The difference between those who lead and those who quit is not talent, not resources, not connections. It's resilience. The ability to take the hit, feel the pain, and still move forward. I've failed publicly. I've fallen hard. I've faced moments where everything seemed lost, when the very people who once cheered were the first to walk away. But that's when you realize something powerful. The world respects success, but it's failure that reveals your true strength. It's in those moments when everything crumbles that you either give up or rise up. And if you can rise after being broken, no one can stop you. You see, failure humbles you. It strips away your pride. It forces you to confront your flaws and rebuild from a deeper place. And that rebuilding, it's where growth happens. It's where real leadership is born. Not in moments of praise, but in moments of pain. Pain teaches you what comfort never could. It sharpens your focus. It tests your purpose. And if your purpose is real, no failure can destroy it. Every setback I faced taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. Betrayals showed me who really stood beside me. Defeats reminded me I still had more to learn. And criticism, it forced me to become sharper, more disciplined, more prepared. So, I stopped fearing failure. I started respecting it. Because every time I fell, I stood up stronger. Some people are so afraid of falling that they never even try. They talk about dreams, about change, about leadership, but the first obstacle breaks them. Not because they couldn't succeed, but because they weren't willing to suffer. Let me be very clear. Leadership comes with suffering. If you're not ready to be broken for what you believe in, you're not ready to lead. But if you are, if you can look failure in the eye and refuse to stay down, you will build something no one can take from you. And here's the beauty of it. When people see you fall and then watch you rise, it inspires them. It gives them courage. It makes them believe that maybe they can do it too. Because your comeback isn't just yours. It becomes a message that says strength is not the absence of struggle. It's how you carry yourself through it. So don't run from your failures. Own them, learn from them, and then rise with more fire, more clarity, more purpose than ever before. Because if you do that, if you rise every time, you become unstoppable. Lead alone if you must. There's a price you pay for speaking the truth. It's not just criticism. It's isolation, resistance, even hatred. People say they want honesty, but when the truth challenges their comfort, they reject it. Still, a leader must speak it. Not because it's easy, not because it's safe, but because without truth, there is no real change. And if you're not willing to speak the truth, even when it costs you everything, then you're not ready to lead anything. I've seen how dangerous it can be to tell the truth in a world built on lies. I've seen how quickly people turn on you when your truth threatens their illusion. But that's exactly when you must be firm. Because the truth doesn't need to be liked to be right. It just needs someone brave enough to say it out loud. Sometimes the truth will make you the enemy. It will make people uncomfortable. It will challenge power. But silence is not neutrality, it's consent. When you stay silent in the face of injustice, you become part of it. So speak even when your voice shakes. Speak even when you stand alone. Because silence may protect you for a moment, but truth protects generations. I didn't come into this journey to be accepted by everyone. I came to do what was right. And that path, filled with resistance and rejection, is also filled with clarity. When you speak truth, masks fall. You see who stands with you for convenience and who stands with you for conviction. And when that circle becomes smaller, don't fear it. It becomes stronger. People may try to silence you. They may call you dangerous. They may say you're creating division. But truth doesn't divide, it reveals. And yes, some will walk away when the truth shows them a side of themselves they don't want to see. Let them go. Leadership is not about making everyone feel good. It's about doing what is right, even when no one thanks you for it. So I speak the truth, not because it's popular, but because it's necessary. And I'd rather stand alone in truth than be surrounded in comfort built on lies. Because history doesn't remember those who played it safe. It remembers those who had the courage to speak when it mattered most. Courage is not loud. It doesn't always come with grand speeches or big gestures. Sometimes it's quiet. It's in the decision to stand when no one else will, to speak up when the room falls silent, to walk forward when everyone else is stepping back. That kind of courage, it spreads. It gives others permission to be brave too. And that is the real power of leadership. Not just to move people, but to awaken something inside them they didn't know they had. I've seen it again and again. The moment one person takes a stand, others begin to find their voice. Not because the fear disappears, but because someone showed them that it's possible to act in spite of it. That's what courage does. It's contagious. It passes from one soul to another, silently, powerfully, like a spark lighting a chain of fires. All it takes is one flame to break the darkness. When I first stepped forward, I didn't have a crowd behind me. I had critics. I had doubt. I had moments of fear. But what I had more than anything was belief. Belief in the cause. Belief in the people. Belief in something greater than my own comfort. And that belief gave me the strength to act, to risk everything, to stand alone if I had to. And when people saw that, something changed. They didn't all join immediately. Some watched, some stayed silent, but slowly that silence broke. People found their courage and the movement grew. That's the thing about courage. It's waiting inside people. It's already there. They just need to see that it's possible to use it. They need to know that fear doesn't have to win, that pain doesn't have to paralyze. And once they see someone lead through fear, not around it, they begin to believe they can do it too. You won't always see the results right away. Sometimes your courage will look like it's going unnoticed, but it never is. Someone, somewhere is watching you. Someone is drawing strength from your resilience. Someone is getting ready to rise because you did first. That's leadership. Not just commanding, but inspiring. Not just moving people, but transforming them. So never underestimate what your bravery can do. You don't have to have the biggest voice or the largest platform. You just need the heart to go first. The will to act without guarantees. Because when you rise, others will rise with you. Maybe not today, maybe not even tomorrow, but eventually your courage becomes their courage. Lead alone if you must. There's a kind of strength that doesn't come from physical power or political influence. It doesn't come from wealth, popularity, or the size of the crowd behind you. It comes from something deeper, something invisible but unshakable. It comes from faith. Real leadership, the kind that endures storms and stands the test of time, is rooted in faith. Without it, you're just reacting to the world. With it, you're shaping it. I've walked through fire not because I enjoy pain, but because I believe in something bigger than myself. That belief doesn't come from theories or slogans. It comes from knowing that this life, this mission, this struggle, none of it is random. There is a purpose behind every challenge, and there is a divine hand that sees what others cannot. When you trust that deeply and completely, you stop fearing what man can do to you. You stop chasing approval. There were moments when I stood with no one beside me. Moments when everything I had built was being torn apart. And in those moments, I didn't rely on strategy or speeches. I relied on prayer, on connection, on the certainty that the one who sees all also sees me. And if the cause is just, then I'm never truly alone. That kind of faith turns weakness into power. It doesn't mean you won't feel fear, but it means fear won't control you. It won't dictate your decisions. You walk through the fire not because you're fearless, but because your faith is stronger than your fear. Too many people want to lead but lack that foundation. They lead from ego, from insecurity, from ambition, that's hollow. And when pressure comes, they crumble because there's nothing deeper holding them up. But if you lead from faith, you will endure. You will grow stronger with every attack. You will become more focused with every setback because your foundation isn't in what people say, it's in what you know to be true. And let me tell you, people feel that. They see it. They may not understand it, but they sense it. When a leader walks with conviction that's not shaken by noise, it creates a quiet confidence. That confidence spreads. It reminds people that there is something higher to believe in, something worth sacrificing for, something that can't be bought, manipulated, or silenced. That's why I say leadership isn't just a skill, it's a calling. And to answer that calling, you need more than vision, more than courage. You need faith. Because faith keeps you grounded when the world tries to pull you in every direction. It gives you peace when the storm is loud. It keeps your focus clear when the distractions come. And they always come. Doubt will come. Betrayal will come. But if your faith is firm, you will not break. You'll keep walking. Not because the path is easy, but because the mission is sacred. You'll keep speaking. Not because everyone agrees, but because the truth must be heard. You'll keep standing, not because you have all the answers, but because you know the one who does. So build your leadership on something eternal. Let your heart be rooted not in fear of losing, but in the certainty that no one can take what was never theirs to give. When you lead with faith, you don't just change your circumstances, you change hearts. You don't just inspire others, you awaken them. And even if you must start alone, know that heaven always walks with those who walk with purpose. Lead alone if you must. So, if the path demands you to walk alone, walk. If the crowd turns silent, keep speaking. If the struggle grows harder, grow stronger. Because leadership isn't proven in comfort, it's revealed in resistance. You are not here to be accepted by the world. You are here to change it. And change never begins with the many. It always starts with the one who dares, the one who believes, the one who leads. Not because it is easy, but because it is right. So rise even if no one rises with you. Lead alone if you must.